you guys all see what I did there? Yeah. See, everybody's got it? Okay, and you saw how fast I did that? Now you guys probably could take a little bit longer. It might take you a little longer to do that. I'm pretty good. I can whip it out. But you don't have to worry of like, oh my gosh, is this the right line? You know, and this has got to be very soft, very fluid. Keep it moving, okay? Now, the next step, what I'm going to do is, one of the hints that I'm going to tell you about this is, it's hard because I see a green shirt. We all see a green shirt, but we have to kind of picture this in like black and white. But then not only do we have to picture this in black and white, we have to almost change it to the color of our paper. So it's kind of a weird assignment in that we have to think about this not only in black and white, but the color of our paper, right? So here's what I'm going to have you do, though. It's easier if you think about this purely as black and white, okay? I want you to not close your eyes, but you're going to squint your eyes, really, really squint when you're looking at your shirt. And you are going to find the areas that are black, 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 like the darkest blacks. And you're going to find the areas that are the whitest whites, wherever the highlight is, whatever the lightest thing in your picture are, and that's where you're going to start. You're going to start with your darkest darks, your lightest lights, and you can choose which way you want to start with. So I might, just because I've already got my white charcoal pencil out, I might go ahead and start deciding that I'm going to start putting in my highlights. So I'm going to be working in the sections where I've got these three values happening here. I am ignoring all things middle tone, okay?
Let's see.
So that's going to be the very last thing, because you're going to get to pick and choose how much of it you want to leave as a middle tone. So I'm kind of starting with these really light areas, and I'm noticing some kind of white spots happening up in here, and I've got some white areas happening in here. And you are going to get some texture in the background of your paper, because the paper just naturally has some texture. Now you can move very slowly, you can move fast, however it works for you. Everyone has their own sort of style, okay? Now I would go back through and I would actually put more details in this before I started highlighting. So I would want this to really be nice and detailed before I went in and started filling in. But I wanted to just kind of show you how you can do this. Now the way your pencil moves should also be in the way that that the shirt is moving. So for instance, if I'm drawing the sleeve, I'm going up and down with it. If I'm drawing this, I'm kind of moving around with it. If I'm going here, my pencil's going this way. So I'm following the contours of whatever it is that I'm drawing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, pockets go up and down or side to side, however you want to do it. Then what I can do is, as I'm working, remember we have this blending stick. Remember to keep one side your white, one side your black, so you don't mix it up, okay? If you have a dirty blending stick and you need a new one, I've got plenty, okay? Yes?
So in terms of style, like personal style, in terms of shading, do you want us all to have like that smooth kind of look to these?
Nope, you guys can have these be very sketchy. They could be very photorealistic. If you're going photorealistic, you're gonna go with probably one of these blending tools, because you don't necessarily want that smooth texture in the background. If you want these to look more sketchy, then you're gonna go more sketchy and let it be more free, and that's totally fine, okay? So there's lots of different ways you can do this. So you don't have to use this blending stick, or maybe you use it in some spots and you don't in others. So that's totally up to you, but you can see that you can get it pretty smooth by just going back over it with your blending tool. Does that make sense? Now, again with the value, I would not be focusing on one section and getting this all perfect. I would be moving around and putting all my highlights in. Everywhere where there's highlights, I'm gonna work in all this section. If I get to a point where I'm stuck and I'm like, I don't know how much else to do with this highlight, I'm gonna move to the blacks. And I'm gonna start squinting my eyes and I'm gonna find where the big black shapes are, and I'm starting to fill those black shapes in. And you're gonna kind of jump back and forth until you slowly kind of work your way through the value scale and you start to get to these middle grays, and then you kind of pick and choose how much you want to leave it as the background and how much, like the background color, and how much you want to actually fill in with value. Okay? Good?
Good.
Good.
Is that it?
Yeah.